Summer 2021, you want to know the best way that you can improve your receiver play and gain a huge advantage in the summer? Stay tuned. We're getting ready to show you. Welcome everybody, this is Tony Franklin. I've been involved in football as a football coach for the last 40 years, but really I've been involved in football for 55 years as a player and a coach. And some of the things that I'm incredibly proud of is that over that period of time, I've had 9 quarterbacks that I've coached in high school, arena football, and in college football that were players of the year, including the first pick in the NFL draft, Jared Goff. But what's happened over the last 20 years is I developed a system called the Tony Franklin system, which throughout high school football and college football and eventually into the NFL helped to change the way that football was played. High school coaches dramatically changed the way that football is played today by the way that we were able to teach them and the success that our clients had all throughout the country. But what's happened in the last year has been mind-boggling. We started something called TF 365. And now we have a plug-and-play system that 365 days out of the year, we get together and I send you somewhere between a 10-minute and a 1-hour video that specifically teaches you different elements of football to make you a top 5% earning coach in all of football, high school, college, wherever, whatever level it is that you're at. So a plug-and-play system, 365 days out of the year. The one thing you want to make sure you do, guys, go to CoachTF.com and book a phone call and let's talk about getting you into the top 5% of this profession. And now we go directly into one-on-one training with our wide receivers for summertime.
Okay, another workout in the off season, every single position group is a great opportunity for you to make massive improvement. And as I've said before, don't feel bad if only one guy is there or 2 guys are there or 3 guys are there. Never feel bad about that because it gives you great opportunity to specifically get somebody better. In the off season, in the summertime, you can take a backup receiver and make him good enough to where that if you have an injury, that it's no longer a liability. So don't think to yourself that if the backup is there and the starter's not there, that that's a bad thing. It could be a good thing because it's a way that you can really, truly, specifically with receivers, is that they can make a gigantic improvement in summertime. So this is dedicated to just a few things in the summer to emphasize with the receiver group. The number one thing is that you want your guys in the off season to master what we call Welker. Okay, Wes Welker, as we've talked about before, is one of the greatest players all time of catching the ball and getting extra yardage and not being a super fast guy, not being a make you miss guy, but he was what I call a catch and get everything you can get by turning straight up the field. So we used to say, hey, be like Welker, catch and get straight up the field. Be like Welker, catch and get straight up the field. And so finally we just said, hell, let's just call it Welker. You got a Welker. So every time a guy would catch the ball, we'd say, Welker it, Welker it, Welker it, Welker it. And so every drill work that we do, we emphasize that the moment the catch is made, you want to Welker everything. So Welker means catch, no wasted motion, straight up the field, get 4 or 5 yards before you think about making a move. You can make a hard cut, but get that extra yardage at the end of the season. If you catch 70 balls, it's going to be the difference in another 300 or 400 yards. It's going to be an extra 2 or 3 wins for the team. So in the off season, tell them that every catch is that we're going to emphasize welkering. So we're going to do 10-yard welkers after every catch. Then get creative and make a hard cut, make a spin, You can also do a Welker drill, and at the end of the Welker, you can do what I call a low pad finish through the knee. So this has become commonplace in the NFL now, to where that small receivers that are going to get brutalized and hit and have bodily damage done to them, what they want to get used to doing is at the end of a run is that dive through the leg of the defender. And defenders will see this on film, and they will start to avoid a receiver when they see that receiver is going to low pad through that defender. So part of a Welker drill can be, hey, one day we're going to have a creative cut. One day we're going to have a creative spin after the Welker. And again, remember, the Welker is going to be 10 yards. And then another day, we're going to have a creative 10-yard Welker and finish through the low pads below the waist of the defender. And then the other one is we're going to do a score, and that's going to equal plus 15. So that means that the end of the run, we're going to allow you to be creative. You're going to Welker for at least 10. You're going to make either a hard score or a finish, and you're going to finish at 15. So you want to Welker everything. The other way to get a lot of work in the off season, when you're specifically working with just 3 or 4 guys, 1 or 2 guys at a time, is do everything in the beginning of practice. It's what I call last phase receivers, the last 3 steps. So you want to do the last 3 steps of your route tree. So if you're running RPOs that are 3-step slants, 5-step slants, 7-step slants, just do the last 3 steps. Why? Save their legs, catch a lot of balls, and get a lot of Welkers in. Do the same thing on your out cuts, snap, corner, comeback, sail routes. Again, just do the last 3 steps, catch, Welker. Now do the same thing where you face the QB, hook, curl, cross, or eyes back to the QB, catch, Welker, finish. Same thing on your mesh route, your go fade route, your go back shoulder route. Last 3 steps, finish the mesh. Last 3 steps, go fade. Last 3 steps, back shoulder catch. And then do the same thing. Last 3 steps of the slow post on the split route. Last 3 steps on a lean stick post, or where you lean the corner outside or lean a cover 2 safety outside, lean him and stick him. Last 3 steps of that. Last 3 steps of a stutter route, where you're going to emphasize a 3, a 5, a 7, or a snapper or a comeback stutter. So remember, lots of catches. You can get 100 catches by a receiver and not wear him out by doing everything as last phase. Then you save his good reps for when he's going with the quarterback. So he can do these with the quarterback, but he also can do these to where that you've got him by yourself and you're working at it. You can also do the same thing with the screen game, to where you do the last phase of the screens. So you can get the top of the tunnel on a solid, a marine, a missile, or a sprint screen. You can get to the last part, jab, step up, retrace. So you do the last phase of the route instead of the entire route. You can do that with every phase, whether it's bubble, behind chops, fast screens. And then you can also do the same thing where you do your fox. In other words, the fox to us is where we fake a tunnel or we fake a chop. And then you can do the blocker, to where the blocker is faking the block, and then he's running the fox screen to where it's now a fox, a stutter block, fake the stutter block, and take off. So again, instead of doing them full speed all the way downfield, just do the last phase of those. You can also build gradual conditioning via routes. I've made it really clear. I believe the most wasted time in high school, college, NFL, any phase of football is the conditioning that they make up in the summertime, which is where a lot of heat disasters take place. It's where a lot of horrendous things happen to young men. It's absolutely ridiculous. And it's basically to justify having high-paid strength coaches in college and in the NFL. The best thing you can do if you play receiver, guess what? To get in shape is run routes. You can run all the 110s you want to, and that don't mean nothing. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of energy. And it's also disheartening to where that you run 25, 30, 35 full speed routes during the day. And then they say, now line up on a line and we're going to run gassers. We're going to run 110s. We're going to get in shape. Well, what are you doing when you're running routes? So condition your guys by running routes. Everything is with the ball. You don't want to do anything that's without a ball. You don't want to do anything to where that your receiver catches a ball and then runs right back to the guy that threw it to him and hands it to him. The worst drill coaching I ever see is by receiver coaches that have receivers run towards the guy throwing the ball like they would on a hook or a curl, catch the ball, and then run just right back to the guy and hand the ball to him. That's not what you do. You catch the ball, you turn, you welker. So do everything with that. Every rep is teaching. You want to teach signals on every rep. If you're going to signal to the receivers, teach that on everything they do. Say the verbiage, but also give the signal. And that way they can learn the signal. And then one day, don't say the verbiage. Then just give the signal. And then you want ball security during everything. You got to coach ball security. If you do, especially when they're fatigued, to me, ball security is coaching. When you have a lot of fumbles, it almost always goes back to coaching. Sure, fumbles sometimes occur no matter what, but normally teams that fumble the ball a lot are because coaches are lazy in practice. You want to have a blocking rhythm to where that in the off season especially, all your blocking drills, whether it's a partner stalk drill that you're 10 yards away, whether it's a crack drill, you want to remember the key to being a great blocker is the eyes. If you've got great eyes, and eyes mean this, the eyes are working on the defender. You're selling it and you are keeping the eyes and you are anticipating. The second thing in becoming a great blocker for a receiver is you got to want to. How do you get them to want to? Because most receivers don't naturally want to block. Real simple. You tell them they're never going to start a game. They're never going to be a starter. They're never going to get their name called if they're not going to block. Because to me, if you don't block as a receiver, it's a character flaw that makes you selfish. So don't be selfish. You want to have body control when you block. You can't get knockouts to where that you run and just run over people and block them. You got to cut the distance in half, break down, hot feet, know who the most dangerous man is, learn how to count to the most dangerous man. So in other words, I might be blocking number one. Number one's a corner. The corner bails, the hole player, nickel player, strong safety becomes the most dangerous. You got to drill that so that they know what it is. You want to teach, if you're a fast tempo team, if you're going to be a tempo team, teach them how to get the ball and hand the ball to officials. If you throw the ball to the official will drop the ball about half the time. So teach them how to get up, hand the ball to the official. That's going to save seconds. And you can do that in the off season to where you don't have to worry about it anymore. Practice hand signals on everything that you do to where that make them signal to each other, make them throw to each other to where that they're always involved. You don't want guys in the back of the line that are not involved. When they're not in, make them signal. Let them help create the signals in the off season. If they go, Coach, I couldn't see that, I don't know what that means. All coaches are defensive and they all start chewing the kid out and go, you're not looking. Well, look, if kids don't see it the way that you do it, it ain't their fault, it's your fault. So make sure that you fix it in the off season. Coaching receivers in the summer, if you're the receiver coach, number one, ball security. We've already talked about Welker. Welker is the most important thing. Ball security is next, okay? Top of the numbers for ball security always, never show error. Details in the summertime, coaching details and not getting bored with it or what's going to make you win. Exaggerate every look in of the ball. Whenever the ball is thrown, exaggerate it not to the catch. Exaggerate it all the way till the tuck until you put it away. Make signals easy, and then have all your receivers double learn positions. They need to learn an outside and an inside position so that with injuries they can easily move. So that's the rules to make your receivers better in the summer.
That's it, everybody. Those are the life-changing, career-changing, career improvement points that we have for today. If you enjoyed this, please go visit CoachTF.com. Better than that, book a call with me today. Get on the phone and give me a call. Improve your life. And then the most important thing, never forget, do something good today for somebody who could never repay you as long as you live. If you do that, you'll have lived a great life. One last thing, guys, we have to give you a gigantic thank you. We had such a successful debut with the Coach Tony Franklin podcast only because of you. You guys went, you watched, you gave us 5-star reviews. Please make sure you do this. Go back now, subscribe to the Coach Tony Franklin podcast, wherever it is that you watch, whatever your favorite place is to watch it from, please subscribe. And if you didn't give us a 5-star review, please go back and give us one. And then just remember, every week on Monday and on Friday, we're going to have a brand new episode for you. So make sure on those days that you put on your big boy pants, because if you enjoyed those, you're really going to enjoy what we've got coming next.